Hello and welcome. Sorry for the delay. I have not even attached my smartphone as a camera. I'm sorry for that. You will see the picture in a second. Busy day, which is strange for me if you know me and my medical history. But I am able to have busy days and that makes me happy. So let me see. More or less, I think this is good. Yeah. So, hey Kira, welcome to the stream. Hello Artop. You be busy with your confirmation letter to the participants. Write down. You are probably not hearing this, but from my experience, I can tell you if you do something like this, not for. If you haven't done this a lot before, and I guess it's probably the first time you're doing that, write everything down that you would like to do differently next time. Make yourself a list. But thank you very much for coming to my stream. People who are new or coming in here afterwards. I am pretty sure you have no idea what I'm talking about. So let me start regularly. Thank you very much for coming to the sketching ground. We are drawing today, as you would probably have expected after clicking on a drawing stream. We are drawing Buffy related content. We have once a week. Oh, this is in the camera. My microphone is in the camera. Once a week on Friday, we have a Buffy centric stream. So if you're interested in Buffy, put that into your calendar. Yeah, and we are drawing Cordelia today because we're watching 2 episodes. I'm sorry, I'm not a native English speaker and I had a busy day. Here the day is almost done. So we are nominating and then voting for the person, the most interesting character that we see that should be drawn, and that was Cordelia this time, for the first time. Although we are already in season 2, so her role gets bigger, so now she gets a portrait. And as always, before the live stream, I have prepared the proportions and stuff like that in general, just to make sure that we can start with more exciting and have the boring stuff already a little bit behind us. And yeah, that's how we start. That's how we start today, as always. And if you are interested in how that is created, you will see that in the time lapse that will be coming probably next week. I have a little bit of jam in my queue. I have to really dig in and produce some time lapses. But let's switch to the drawing. And now, thank you all in chat for waiting. I'm trying to get a more or less coherent introduction in the beginning, so I cannot always react directly to chat. But hello Donna, thank you very much for coming. Really happy that you could make it, so welcome to the stream. And welcome to the Discord again, to the Discord server. Yeah, I was not sure if you even had a YouTube account, because it seemed like you were quite used to Twitch. So I'm happy to see that you have a YouTube account and could join. So, let me see. As I said, we have Cordelia here. And I think we can start directly. I have my reference picture there, my canvas here. You don't call it canvas, do you? As I said, I'm not a native English speaker. So, we will start as always with the eyes, so it does not look as creepy as it could. Her eyes are pretty open, aren't they? When we look at those 2 episodes, Cordelia actually does not have that big overall. There were actually only in both episodes together only 2, or in the first one in Ted I could not get any close-up of her. Although not true, this is actually from Ted. But it's not as close as I usually would like it. It is a bit far away for my taste, but we will work through it, especially since Cordelia is quite young and has easy skin. Let me say it like that. There aren't that many crevices, whatever. How do you call it? Not crevice. Crevice is in nature. But you know what I mean. She doesn't have old skin, so we should be fine with the level of detail that we have. So, and she has quite open eyes, so we have the complete iris. That's not completely normal for a portrait. I'd only been on the platform for about 5 minutes, but still you have a picture. You see, Kira is here. She has visited my streams now for weeks, and she only has the K there. So I assumed, because you have a profile picture, that you would have been that the account was already existing. Sorry, I have to search for the words today. So, yeah, you are pretty new to Discord, you said, right? So, Discord is a quite interesting concept. You can just work with it pretty easily when you know the basics, but there are some neat things that you can do, especially if you have your own server. I could stream, for example, on Discord. There is also the possibility to stream to my own server, so we could do something like a server streaming session for something. And it's really easy, and everyone can do it. So, for example, if you would have a question about how to draw, you could come onto one of my channels that allows for it, and you could just stream for, I don't know, people on the server that could give you advice or something like that. So it's really powerful, but it can be a bit intimidating because of that. I understand that. It's referring to Twitch account. YouTube account existed before. Yes. Okay. Do you mind me asking how you found my channel? Because I wasn't active on that channel for months. I did not stream this year at all, for example. So I would be interested to know how you found my channel. Hello Liana, welcome to the stream. We are drawing Cordelia, as you know, and she has quite wide eyes here in this picture. I'm not 100% sure, that's why I'm a bit hesitating and thinking the whole time about the shape of the eye here. But she has a lot of makeup on, so it is not a completely natural line we see here. This reference picture of I try. So the rules of the Buffy Club are it's a bit stagnant at the moment, I have to be honest. But in general, the rules of the Buffy Club are: there are 2 episodes each week that everybody in the club can look at watch at their own time, and then we nominate. We start Wednesdays normally with nomination. I was a little bit late, my Wednesday evening, so for some it was already Thursday. We nominate, and then also we can vote for. There is a channel, it's called Library. Only I can write there, but everybody else can put reactions on it. So voting often on Discord is done by, as you already have been doing on messages, adding reactions, even in channels where you cannot. So I put in the name, Ted and Cordelia, for these 2 episodes, for example, and then everybody else, nobody can write in that channel, but everybody can vote by putting a reaction on there, and I can then just count the reactions. And then I draw the person, and long story short, to your question, I try to get the pictures out of the specific episode or episodes. Not always possible, sometimes there is not a good close-up that you can use, but it is out of the episode, and it is from Disney Plus, because since we started with the Buffy Club, end of April, I think, not that long ago, we have Buffy on Disney Plus available. The HD version, though, if you don't know about the HD version, it is not the superior version. Normally, the HD versions are superior. Not in the case of Buffy, as a lot of people here would be able to tell you. For example, Liana, she's very militant with the HD version because it is not the original. They changed, or they took the HD version from a version of the series before all the color grading for the original series has been taking place. So, for example, there are now scenes playing during the day, although they should be in the night. Stuff like that, mistakes like that. It's pretty terrible. There are YouTube videos about that, quite interesting. Hello, baby. Say hello back. Hello. Yeah, Liana is quite active in terms of nominations, and I'm very thankful for that, because not always are nominations, not everybody is nominating. A lot of people actually then are voting, but nominations, not everybody. I don't know if the people are not, if some people are not courageous enough, or if it is that I think not everybody watches the episodes but remembers them a little bit, so they don't nominate, but if they see a name they like, they vote for the name. I guess it's that. My Sabrina rant is very much founded in truth and necessity. Yes, third season of Sabrina. So you also have to add third season of Sabrina. The first was pretty cool, the second was meh, and the third was a disaster of epic proportions. So, just to make that clear, okay? I'd like to draw somebody from Sabrina third season just to be able to talk 2 hours about how terrible it is. In some I probably already have 2 hours full, but I can do so without feeling bad that I missed the point of the actual stream, the actual point of the picture. As to watching the episodes, Bad Eggs is the episode where Cody and Xander save everyone, right? Yeah, but there is not really a good close-up. Although I'm not 100% sure, I have to admit I also have not seen them. I scrolled through it this time to find close-ups, and I did not find her in the end, but I did not specifically look for her in the end. I could not see her while scrubbing through the episode towards the end, so I cannot tell you, and I was tempted to take a quick look, but I don't want to look during stream because the sound is copyrighted. It is the episode, though, where Xander and Cody are snogging in the cupboard. And Cordea's role in general becomes bigger. She has been joining the Scoobies in research and stuff like that, which I always found interestingly not forced. It doesn't really make sense. Of course, she does it because of Xander. But it never really makes sense that she... It doesn't really make sense, but it somehow still makes sense. It's some of those things that Joss Whedon manages to do quite competently. Those strange in between. I have no idea if I make sense. Rambling is part of the stream. I wouldn't say part of my charm, but I hope it is, otherwise there's not much reason to watch me, because I'm rambling a lot. You know, I can draw Cordelia and not Ted, so all fine with me. Although I was tempted to use the white paper, but it would have been the first Buffy club picture on white paper. So I did not do it, and also because as I often say, for some reason on gray I don't draw in so much details. Perhaps it's the paper, perhaps it's not each detail. And for the Buffy Club, I always have the not that high quality. Oh, I'm not recording, I think. You did not remind me, Liana. You did not remind me. Okay, we're missing an eye, but that's not so too bad. We're missing an eye in the time lapse because I always record extra for the time lapse. So I do not have all those things that you see here in the stream also available, or I covered them for a long time in my time lapses, and it's just lost space on the screen in the video, and it doesn't look that high quality if I just post my logo everywhere over stuff I do not want to show, like my face right now, because it looks quite I could put it in there for fun in one time lapse, because it's quite funny, but a time lapse with webcam is a bit not ideal. And I have on white paper, if I can just post, because I really like it. This is what I do on white paper, and it has a lot more detail in there than our Cordelia will have, but that's also because the original picture doesn't have that much detail. It has again quite interesting lighting because it is in the library. You can see the stairs of the library in the background. And there's of course artificial light. A lot of different artificial lights there from every direction. So you have on the chin an interesting shadow. So how far, I would say up until here, that shadow goes. So this is the first draft of this area, but I'd like to give it a little bit of context before I move on to the other eye. Bit of visual and shading context, if you can say it like that. He's also much prettier than Cordy in general. Ted, you mean? As we spoken about it on the Discord, I think it is a testament for the actor. He's a well-known actor, isn't he? I've seen him a lot. In series, he's not a movie actor, but a TV actor. I think he has been in a lot of series. The guy that plays Ted, and he really plays him so good that you really don't like him. Ryan Reynolds. You said that when I put that picture up. Yes. Okay, now I get it. Let me check the quality of the stream again. For quite some time I had not the best quality But yes, you can have it in 1080p. If you have not high quality activated, high quality, 4K is high quality, but check the quality. If you're watching on a PC or something, check that the quality is on the highest. If your internet connection can work with that, because you're watching an art stream and quality of the resolution is something to consider in that case. I would say even more than for a gaming stream or something. I don't know the Ted actor, but he was impressively creepy, right? I'm pretty sure I know him from other things. I will look that up. Why not? We are here to also talk. To talk. This is a live stream to communicate, right? So I can look that up. John Ritter, exactly, John Ritter, and he is a well-known TV actor, at least. So, and well, mainly he was in It, for example. So also the original, not the remake. So the movie that you still want to desperately see soon, Liana. So he played that in Chucky. He was playing in Chucky. Bad Santa. I have not seen that. Scrubs. He has been playing 9 years in Scrubs. So one should have seen him. It seems like he has played. I think that's what this is telling me. Buffy, of course. Although no, he did not play nine years. He also did not play 6 years of Buffy. So this is not telling me how long he is there. Just how long. Bill Cosby Show. He was in the Bill Cosby Show. We don't talk about that much anymore. Dream of Oz. I don't know that. He has played so much. Freddy vs. Jason, so a bit more in the B-movie area, but I wouldn't say it is a B-movie. So more of a horror movie, but also family TV shows, stuff like that. He has been playing. Oh, he has a full career. He had a full career. So John Ritter, we could have also drawn him. He would have deserved it. But we still don't like Ted. So you know what? We will do it for a video. We will make a reaction video while I draw Pennywise. We will make a reaction video of you watching, of us watching it together. Good idea? Very good idea. I think people will like that. So I love that pen, but I never really get it very sharp. So sharp lines are a bit difficult sometimes. So I always go back with this other pencil and sharpen the lines and stuff. It's not really round here. So, better. So, and now the surrounding areas of the eye. If you hear the music twice, let me know if there is any trouble with the sound, if there are issues, if it sounds strange, because I'm not using headphones anymore, but am playing the music that you can also hear silently in the background for myself. So I also have music because the microphone is extremely oriented into one direction. So you should not hear the music, even though I can hear it quite good. If there is sound issues, I have to turn it down. So let me know if something is wrong or sounds not good. Not good. So this is the scene. If you're interested to know, this is where they are without Buffy in the library. It is after she believes that she has killed Ted. Although we find out later that that is not true. But she believes it. And they are talking about that although she is doing quite the community service by dispatching vampires and other stuff, that Cordelia talks about, that she doesn't understand why she does not have the right to do stuff like accidentally kill somebody. And she votes for a totalitarian country to give her the right to do whatever she wants. Interesting thought she has there. I'm not sure she has thought it completely through. So and that is from that conversation. She's directly talking to Willow here. This is not as wide as I would like it to be. I love this pastel pen sill for light, for white thing, as though that it is always endangered by the pencil around it, so it really likes to just getting dirty by the surrounding pencil, if you know what I mean. I have to be really careful that it doesn't start to get dirty, and here in that area it has become dirty, and it's really difficult for me to lighten it up as much as I want to. But with this is a normal colored pencil, a different one, and the combination, it is okay. It is not as light as I would love to have it. Getting some ice cream is a very worthy cause. It's Cody though, she doesn't think things through, she just says whatever's on her mind. That's true. So it's a very Cordy scene. So I think it's worthy of becoming the portrait. So we have two eyes, nothing else but two eyes. And now I normally like to go to the nose and then trying to shade them a little bit together, not too much, and then I go down to the mouth. So I have the main facial features in a way that I can see, okay, are they the same, the right size? Are they, is the relation correct between them? Stuff like that. And then we can draw in the shape of the face, the general shape all around. Then we can shade all of it. It's pretty much on one line, but the line is a little bit of an angle in there, but still it needs to be pretty much on one line with the eyes, of course, so that it doesn't look like it is a crooked nose or something. It's also the episode in the end of, I think, of the Bad Eggs episode. It's the first kiss of Jenny Calendar and Giles. And so far, Jenny Calendar could have been a nominee, but I'm not sure that there is a close-up of her available. But we need to get some Jenny Calendar in one of the streams. Love the character. So, if you're interested in seeing what materials I'm using, meaning paper, pencil, stuff like that, you can find that down in the description. I finally managed to make sure that it's also here in the live description. I always had to say you can find it in any other time lapse, which gives me the chance that people are watching at least one additional time lapse. But I think it is more convenient for everyone to have it also here in the description. So and if you are in Germany or UK, you can support me by buying them via that link if you want to buy them anyway, or if you're planning to buy anything else, if you go to Amazon via that link and then go to whatever you want to buy, that it becomes also a, how do you call it? Amazon puts it on my thingy. So if you want to support the channel, me doing this, that is an easy way to do it in future. Just by watching the advertisement that might come with my videos. Because I've applied for monetization, which is also a bit of a milestone. Shouldn't stick too long on this one shadow though. And we have shadow here as well. Should help us and tying it all a bit more together. I'm preaching something that is really difficult to be myself, but ideally you do not stick for too long on any part. There are artists that just really finish one place and then go next to the next one. If that's you, of course, do it like that. I'm not like that. I cannot do it like that. Or I perhaps can, but I normally don't want to. I go over stuff more than once, and I like to just fill in a little bit more here and there, just to see then if everything in the big picture then in the big picture kind of a pun, that it works together. And if I spend now 10 minutes on one area, which I then find out it's not in the right place, it looks perfect, but it should be further to the right or something, then I can just erase everything again. So that's why I now go up here and just watch that I come out around the same area, or in relation correctly to this eye, so that it meets in a way that correlates with how it is in the original. And it does, so I'm happy. Doesn't always. So, but that means that the nose is not completely wrong. It might still be too high though. I'm not sure about if it should be a little bit lower. But we will see that when we go for the mouth. I almost dropped the pencil. That's the worst. Dropping a pencil and then always having broken lead when you try to sharpen it. Okay, so pause on the nose and mouth. No idea how this area is called. It probably has a name, but she has a very slim one, so these two pointy parts are quite close together with her mouth. Probably cannot really say if it is correct or not if I do not complete the shape first. I have Kali Kitty. Oh, Kitty. Kitty lets you go to sleep. You know you are legally not allowed to disturb the kitty, so do what you must. As long as nobody stops me, I will anyway continue to ramble on. Sleep gas. They have sleep gas. Kitties? Ah, by the way, I have the opportunity to get vaccinated yet now this next week with Johnson & Johnson. So one shot and I'm done. It's not the highest coverage vaccine, but truth be told, if I would wait for the so it's via my physician, and if I would wait for a appointment from the country or county, how do you say in English, it would take forever because I would be pretty low on the priority list. So I think I will just go for it. No, actually, I always said it would be by now. It would be the ideal one because one shot and done. The Astra one, you know, I would have taken that, but you still have to wait 12 weeks for the second shot to count as vaccinated. So if I would start with it this month, it would be October, I think, that I would be vaccinated. So I'm going with this now. I did not think that I would have a chance as soon, so I'll just grab it. And thank you, Diana. And the thing is, you know, with the lower coverage vaccines, they still make it so you normally don't run, even if you get it, you don't run the risk of a very dangerous I have no idea how to word that in English, but you know, you won't, chances are very good that it won't be a bad case and you won't get the real bad effects like so many people have suffered. And now I should talk about more fun stuff again. So I'm still not 100% sure with the mouth, but with the amount of shading I've done, I'm almost committed, because if I would have to erase this, that would not be that easy anymore. If you have experience with, let you know what I mean. You never get it really clean again if you have used a bit of a softer pencil like I have here. Harder ones, you cannot really go dark with the hard ones, but they are normally pretty easy to erase, so that is what I use a lot on the white paper, because on this black paper the more silvery, cheaper pencils are very silvery. They look pretty gray on white paper, but really silvery and reflective on the gray paper. So I'm not much or at all. This the general shapes that I have put in before, those are with that harder pencil. So now teeth. I haven't drawn teeth in a while, so I have said it often or normally when I draw teeth, but I haven't drawn them in a while, so I'm allowed to say it again. Teeth are always difficult. If you have ever tried to draw teeth, you know that the risk is always very high that they look like monster teeth or something. So from my perspective, the trick with teeth is to, so in my experience, don't put too much detail into teeth. If you try to put too much detail into teeth, they start to look strange and too defined, so it can become really strange looking. So all we will do here for the teeth is make sure that the outline is more or less correct, to have a bit of a teeth shape. That is a good start, right? That the teeth are teeth shaped. And then a little bit of highlight here because we are drawing on the gray. But that's it. Oh, nobody told me that the camera seems to be frozen. I am sorry. It's the battery. I have connected it to energy, but you have missed the whole mouth. I'm so sorry. Again, something that will be missing from the time lapse. And this picture is sabotaging me concerning the time lapse. And proof that all of you are asleep. I'm sorry for talking all of you into sleep. So now we're back on track and trying to get this. This is, I think the mouth all in all is pretty okay. Just have to make sure that the shape is makes sense. Let me say it like that. And yeah, we can start with a little bit of shading from mouth to mouth, from nose to mouth, to just make sure then we have the right proportions. I'm speaking while concentrating. That's sometimes you can see that because I am taking quite an annoying amount of time to finish a sentence. Oh, you're drawing, Donna. I'm really interested in seeing that. If that is alright with you. By the way, also, if you ever, for example, want to start your own channel or streaming on Twitch or something, there are so many people also on the Discord, or come to me for if you need to know anything. It is pretty easy to do, so if you think you might have fun with that, you shouldn't want to do it for fame and fortune. But if you don't do it for that, you will be fine. It's not like instant money or something. It's a hobby. As long as you treat it like that, all is good. But still, if you're still here, I would be interested to hear how you found my channel on Twitch, because, or did you found me on Facebook first? Because I haven't been streaming I haven't streamed this year at all on Twitch. So I'm just nosy. You don't have to answer that if you don't want to. I think it doesn't look bad. I'm not sure that it looks already like Cordelia, but I think her face shape is very Cordelia with those high cheekbones and stuff. And when I add that, I think that would help together with the eyebrows, which I am a bit hesitant to draw without the hair because they are partway covered by the hair. So okay, so let's draw in the shape. I have, of course, pre-drawn it a little bit here, as I explained a couple of times already. I'm doing that to start with the fun directly, but with her face shape I don't feel comfortable to just jump in with the darker pencil. I will trace it first with the harder one. To have a better chance of success. In the end. So that looks pretty okay. I will check the cheekbone highness, if you can say it like that. But it looks okay. On the other side, it's not just the shape of the face, it's also how the hair covers the face. So and then it goes here into shadow, not a clear line, but a shaded shadow that we will have to put in. We can assume a line here just for the purposes of orientation, but we cannot draw it here as a line. The chin, because the chin is more of a, you do not see it because of a clear line, sharp outline. You see it defined by the shadows surrounding it. And I think it is not really. So no, okay, this is okay. I would have expected it to not be okay, honestly, the height of this part, but it seems to be, when I measure, seems to be okay. But I think it has to be a little bit sharper, so it should go a little bit more like this. No, it should not. You know what? I think that is pretty okay. We will leave it like that until we get to the point where we're actually shaded. Yeah, the hair starts, but I think I'm happy with the outline. So we can make it a bit darker, especially since it divides the hair from the head, and therefore it is a very dark line, very contrasty line. I always like the contrasty line, so I'm happy we have a contrasting dark line here without me having to fake it. Sometimes I just put in a strong line. Artist freedom, and you know, I can do what I want with my picture. So it helps sometimes just with optics, so it is a bit more exciting, even if that would not be a really dark line. But to make the face pop from the background a little bit more and not just wash into the background. There's nothing wrong in doing stuff like that, even if you go in general photorealistic. But I think it's pretty close. It's not half bad. How to continue? What is the next part? Actually, I'll introduce a little bit of the hair, would make sense. To also have the delineation up here a bit clearer. Before we even start to shade the face, always shade the face. If anybody of you has a clear preference, let me know. Because I don't, so I would just let randomness, chance decide. I have kind of a random number generator in my head. I just try to not concentrate, and then my hands start to paint something. And then I know, okay, that's the next thing I should do. Sounds strange, but it is a little bit like that. But I think I want to shade a little bit more in the face. Although I'm still not 100% sure how far I in general go with the shading. I don't believe that you sometimes have to militantly shade everything in a face. Can also look interesting just a little bit flat, more flat. Having the hairs to three-dimensional. Darn you, TH. To have the general shade, a little bit of shading around the facial features, but you don't necessarily have to shade everything. Sometimes even lines are completely, just doing lines can be completely enough. It just has to work. I almost would have said just has to be consistent, but it doesn't even have to be consistent. Just has to work. Just has to work with your definition of what you want to achieve with the picture. Normally you have a goal, don't you? And if you're smart, your goals are better than mine, which are sometimes just should look good. And that's not completely true. So one of my goals always with these portraits is I want somebody who knows the character, who knows the person, to be able to recognize them just from looking at my picture and no additional context. That is one of my goals with all the portraits. I actually was pretty happy with my Ant-Man portrait, Paul Rudd. and I posted it on a server and I forgot because I just assumed that you can recognize him. I did not even add who it was. And somebody was pretty rude in how they worded that they have no idea who this person is and they believed it was because of the quality of the picture. That made me pretty sad, I have to admit. But you can never assume that somebody knows even the person. So even if you draw somebody who is well known. I mean, I've seen in one of those daily comedy shows in the US. I have no idea which one it was, but I think it was Jimmy Kimmel. And they were showing the picture of the first lady to people, and nobody that they showed us, of course. They probably only took the funny ones who did not recognize her. But I have to admit, she is a bit, in comparison, I would not recognize her, I think. I would have recognized Melania. I would have recognized Michelle Obama. Hers, for now, still, I wouldn't. Even after that, I was thinking, okay, you need to try to remember her face. Is that evil? I have no idea. And I don't think I would recognize her. I'm not living in the US, so I don't have to. But still, it is something you should know. Isn't that nice to have some birds in the music? So you feel at least as if you have an open window. I cannot have an open window here because it would just get still hotter if I had. So some birds in my music, I think that's a nice thing to have. I was actually looking at the windows if they were open. So this light here on her nose, I think it's a bit strange because it is so angular. Sometimes you wonder and think that looks wrong in the original, but it still makes sense to try and recreate it in your picture and then go from there. You can still say, no, that doesn't look right, and then you reinterpret that area. But she looks a bit comic-y in my interpretation, doesn't she? I think I will have to wait for the hair to really decide if I'm on the right track. I think she looks a bit comic-y, which is not necessarily bad. I like my comics, or I would not draw half the people that I'm drawing. I'm actually missing some features that are available on Twitch. A lot of features that are available on Twitch on YouTube. But I don't see YouTube implementing most of them. Like channel points and channel rewards, where you just collect those points by just watching, nothing with money or something, and you can then invest them to silly stuff that you can configure for differently for every channel. Like, I know this streamer on Twitch that he tends to talk a lot, and he has a channel reward for a lot of points where he just concentrates. If you select that, he just concentrates and starts painting for 10 minutes. Which is honestly, I think, something that helps him. What pens are you using for the shading right now? Around the eyes, have you used same for all face shading? I am actually almost on the gray paper. I'm using this pencil almost exclusively, and as you find it down in the description, it is the Stellar Mars Lumograph Black 8B. So I'm using that for about everything right now here on the gray paper, because it is, as the name says, it is pretty black. It is not a normal pencil. It has a very matte and black appearance. So it works very well on the gray paper, but I also love it on the white paper because it can go pretty dark. That is the one that I'm using almost exclusively. For the really dark parts, I take the Blackstone. And I really madly love that one. The channel sometimes calls it Mr. Squeaky, because when I go for bigger areas, which I probably again do not really will be doing here, perhaps in the hair a little bit, it can get quite loud. It squeaks. So it is an apt name. On white paper, I am using more different pencils, and this one not as much, but on the gray I'm using this for most stuff that should stay, you know, for those lines sometimes, or even when I want to get really light shading, I go with a mechanical even on the gray paper. If I use it too much, it gets too silvery and too reflective. But yeah, this is the main one. So if you would ask me for some essential pencils, this one would definitely be on the list. It's not just a nice to have for me, I need it. I always need to have a little stash of them available, so I don't run out of them. It's too much. As always, even if you don't see eyelashes because of the quality of the picture, we all know they are there. She did not shave them. I am pretty sure of that, so include them. Just hint at them with small lines in your picture, because we all know they are there. and it makes it much more alive, your picture, if you include them, even if you can't see them in your original. I haven't always afraid to need to get out interest of my pencil box. I just love really contrast, you know. I really am going for contrast, and I started with when you look at my very first ones, I started them all with pretty hard pencils because I was the same. But I am so in love with contrast that I started to really go and search for dark pencils. That's how I found the Blackstone Pierre Noir. I really searched for the blackest pencil that you can get, and this was the one I found, and I really like it. And I did the same with the white, incidentally, on the gray. I watched a lot of videos and googled the options from chalk to everything, and this is a pastel white. It is really cool white. You can see it. It is really cool white. So just experiment. Don't be afraid of contrast. Contrast can only help. Even if you get it wrong, it still might look more interesting than if you would not have dared to try it. And also, again, wrong is very relative in art. And if you can get your hands on this Mars Lumograph black, even if it's not 8B, just really try it, because it is night and day already by just being black and not silvery like normal pencils. That is it. I have two mechanical ones that I tried out, 2B and 6B, and I don't see that big of a difference because they are quite silvery. There is a little bit of a difference, but I would, for example, say if you like to work with those, you only need one of them, and it's pretty much not important which one you choose. They are very replaceable, but to have one of these, regardless of strength, of softness, blacks is a really nice option to have. They are probably from different companies, different versions, and others that do the same. So I'm not endorsed by any companies, but this is the one I know, and it's just really fun to play with them and see your picture becoming so much more lively with the contrast. So it's not just softness of a pencil, it is really, are they made for blackness or are they standard lead pencils, which always tend to be silvery. And therefore, for example, on gray paper, they will not make you happy. Do I have a... Yeah, I even showed it here already. If you're still there, Donna, this is something you might want to see. This is the same strength of normal lead compared to the black one here in the middle. So it's really, you see how reflective the gray is and how not reflective the black is, and how blacker, how much more black they are in comparison. So really, if you like to work with lead, see if you can from your favorite brand, they probably have something comparable. So hair on the forehead is always a bit difficult with these scenes because of the shadow. Do not only see the hair, you can see also the shadow. It's not that easy to distinguish in the reference picture. It is a bit difficult to recreate because those are details that are difficult to translate into LED. Yes, go for it, Donna. Go for the contrast. I've done a video about contrast. Have I done it exclusive? I've done it exclusively about contrast, I think. There is an exclusive video. Let me take a quick look. If that's a topic that I find pretty important, to get your images interesting and popping. So I will try. The stream is still working, right? I'm a bit confused. The YouTube streaming page looks like... Oh, there it is. Okay. It looked like my stream was already ended. Had already ended. Yeah, I think I could post it. So that is the video about contrast that I mean. So if you are interested in that topic, I have experimented a little bit about that and rambled a little bit to fill the video. That could be interesting. You tell me if it's interesting. So she has, of course, very shaped eyebrows. I should do more topical videos, you know, I haven't done that many. I've done a wish haul, which is actually, it seems to be a pretty often searched for thing. Wish art haul, so it's not like thousands of people are watching it, but still from time to time people seem to find it. Although I'm not really happy with that video. It was one of the first videos I did of that kind. I'm not really happy with how it turned out, but I haven't gotten that many thumbs down, so I don't think I've offended anybody. I think she looks a little bit more like Cordelia. I think she starts to look Cordelia-esque. Really not a fan of drawing hair, but here now it is already important. Normally I draw hair always out of stream. I don't really draw it on stream, normally just because of timing, because I don't reach the state to be able or to have to start. It's more to where I have to start drawing hair, but in this case I need it for the forehead, so that's why I need to introduce it early. I could just go for the neck, but we don't even have ears in this one. They are covered by the hair anyway, so this song always reminds me of Persona. the game. It always makes me want to play again Persona. And you're more than welcome, Donna. I thank you for watching my stuff. I really appreciate you spending time with me. That is the stuff that honestly I like the most about content creation. Well, I like the process as it is already, so I have fun with creating videos and stuff, and obviously with drawing. But I think it's really the greatest thing is when people really like to spend. It's not, how do you say it? It's not a given. I think you can say it. It's not a given that people invest their time to watch stuff you have created. So that people watch what I have done, that's amazing. That's really the coolest thing about content creation. So we have drawn some strands of hair, but they more or less go into blackness, or at least pretty dark shadow up here on the forehead. So that is what we have to do. A lot of the hair is again up here hidden underneath pretty dark shadows. I might even go in here later with the black stone and push it even darker. I will do that. Let me say it like that. I will do that because we have talked about contrast and that I love contrast. So I definitely will push this even darker, but not now, because I will do that after I've completed the hair and start to put in darker strands of hair. Hey Anna, welcome to the stream. Happy weekend, Anna. It's already Sunday. You're not that far ahead. Saturday, where you are, right? Yeah, definitely. Not that far off for me, so. How are you today? How did your letter writing, confirmation writing work out? Do you have a lot of, how many people are participating? Can you give me numbers? You are allowed to, but if do you want to? Don't be sorry. So I think it really starts to look like her. So that makes me happy. And it's not even that comic-y anymore than it seemed in the beginning. But now let's go for the neck, I would say. So we start by putting in those shadows that I've been talking about earlier, so that we do not have real hard lines here for the most part. Here we have not still, but it is also a very thick shadow line. But here it becomes more of a blended shadow. $200. That's crazy. Congratulations for so many people participating. That is amazing, Anna. On the most beautiful drawing I saw you make. Thank you very much. Have you seen... Were you here last Wednesday? I could show you what I've drawn there because I really like it. It's far from complete. But yeah, I was actually always, for a long time, I had, for some reasons, issues with drawing women. They never turn out as good as when I drew men. But it seems to have turned. I am now actually happy with the faces of women that I draw. But that's when you challenge yourself, right? Don't say, I'm not as good in it, so I will stay with what I can do. Try and develop yourself and challenge yourself by going where it hurts. And that way you can grow. 200, it is really a lot. So it's a big success, Anna. You deserve it. Confirmation letter writing is a side job. You need an automated system for that. Something that a way for you to have less work with it, you know. Some people won't send their age proof. Yeah, you need that, right? I'm waiting for a contest that is global. When you're really huge, you will make global contests, and then I can participate. So we only have added the shadow, so it looks pretty strange. But now we will add the rest of the neck and hope that it doesn't look as strange anymore when we have done that. Others would only send their name and age, no entry. That's it's not very helpful, is it? That is very funny, yes. They are probably so excited. It's a bit sad actually, because they are probably so excited to enter that they just forget to attach it. It was very shoestring even for India, so I was a little apprehensive. Well, it worked, didn't it? Very well. I think it doesn't have to be that big. Budget-wise, I think people just really enjoy participating in something like that and having the chance to win. People love free stuff, you know. I also have thought about some kind of competition, some kind of contest. But I honestly have not put in the energy yet to find out what that means in terms of legal things that I have to follow. And then also stuff like taxes and stuff like that. So there are sites, I have found some sites that do that for you. So for example, in my Twitch time, I had found it, I did not do it, but I found a site that handles all of that for you. So for example, if you want people to retweet your tweet to be able to do something, so it would not work for what you are doing. Oh no, not something like an art contest. I think, don't know, perhaps they have options for that. But stuff like you can enter and win if you retweet this and do that, stuff like that. There are sites that are doing all of that for you. They even have then stuff like you can choose from what they offer, put your own stuff in, but you can also choose what they offer, like gift cards for certain game shops or something like that. And then you are of course also legally safe, because those sites do it for a living and they do it correct normally. So I might, if I do something, a giveaway or something, I would probably do it over one of those sites, but it would not work for an art contest, I think. I think they would of course also then ship the voucher, so I could make it international, not just limit to a country, but it would just be something like voucher and stuff. And yeah, perhaps I will do something like that. I see you having so much success with yours. Perhaps that I will take that as a sign that I should also do something like that. The funniest people. When did you last participate anywhere? There is a video up. That is the only participation I ever did in an art contest. Wait, I posted already one link to one video for somebody else, for Donna. Let me post my video to that contest. Yeah, there it is. This is, let me put it in there. Where is my chat window? Not this one. There. This is the only art participation I have ever done. And I guess one of the reasons why I've never done it again was because I entered here and never received anything, no confirmation, nothing. And I checked and double checked that I wrote it to that the email went out and wrote it to the correct email address and everything. So I don't know, but I never heard back. That kinda bummed me out about contests. And also I'm not actively looking for contests, so I don't really see any that fit what I do, what I can do. A couple of people from the channels that I'm watching have done, for example, there is Eve Harvey has done a pet contest, but I don't draw animals, so couldn't enter. I think actually it's a pretty smart thing to participate in stuff like that. Also with smaller creators, because they normally show it on their channel and link to you. So it is exposure, isn't it? So need a little bit more shadow on the nose. I've kept it pretty empty. I think all in all, I'm pretty happy with this one. So I have that in the it is one of those that is in the intro. Yes, I have to redo that though. Those pictures in there are pretty old. I have to make it more current. Also with the change of my design, which is not that big of a change, but still I probably need to also reconsider how I'm doing that intro. So yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with it. So let's try to put in a little bit more white highlights, just a bit. To again also make it in that regard pop a little bit more. It's also a reflection thing, I think, when I watch it on the camera. The white is much more intense sometimes. So I actually, when I draw white here, I almost watch it more on the camera than where I actually draw on the paper, because it really looks quite more intense. I have to be careful to blend it correctly, because even if it looks well blended for me, between the gray into the white, it can look quite stark and like a line surrounds it on the camera. Hobby Kevin, hey, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for dropping by. How I can draw and talk at the same time. You can only do one thing at a time. Well, it is a little bit of training, but also I'm not a very intellectual drawer, so I do not really think about what I draw too much, how I draw too much. So I let my fingers work and shade without paying that much attention myself, actually. So my mouth is for the most part pretty free to talk. It is actually something you notice when I start to get slower with talking, or when it makes less sense. That's when my logic circuits change from speaking to drawing. When I start to think about things and concentrate about how to draw it, then I get slower or even quiet from time to time. Thank you so much, Anna. I really enjoyed making them, and even more so when you guys are all here. And I really appreciate the time you spend with me, Anna. I know you are busy and it is very late for you. I'm considering a morning stream next week, but not for drawing. I am considering to make some more of those mood ring coasters, and I'm thinking about making a stream out of that, but not an evening stream, but a morning stream. I don't know if people are interested in that kind of stream, because it is a lot of the same thing again. Airbrushing and making it to dry it, then with a hairdryer probably, and then airbrushing and hairdryer and airbrushing and 10 to 15 layers of that. I'm not sure if that is exciting, but perhaps I make that a stream. I'm drawing quite instinctual. It is, I call it instinctual drawing, you know, like instinctual archery. I've done archery, and it is an instinctual style, you know, you just repeat it again and again and again and let your body learn the movements, and you do not aim by calculating or something, but just by experience, because your body at some point, if you have done it enough, knows what to do. And I think that is about the same for me how I draw, that I just do it again and again and again, and just my hands learn the movements. What time zone are you? Where are you? I am in Germany, and it is Central European Time, CET. And Anna is in India, and they have 3 time zones, so I cannot really name it. I think it's 3, right, Anna? Did I learn that correctly from you? It's more than 1 time zone, at least. Oh, was it 1 time zone? And it was 1 time zone. You have only 1 time zone in India, although it is such a huge number of people, but the landmass is not as big. And the 3 time zones was in Indonesia? You see, I'm not that good at learning. Did you ever draw anyone other than movie characters? Personally, for myself, yes. And this is a TV character. But I know what you mean. I haven't drawn politicians or something like that, if you mean that. I have drawn, I put in a link earlier, a little bit earlier, to a contest entry that I did. That is actually the child of a friend of mine, so it's not a movie character or a TV character, but it was also just the back of the head, because I do not want to post pictures of a child on the channel that I know, because children cannot decide for themselves, and I think most parents also do not really appreciate it. But other than that, I have drawn family members and gifted it for Christmas or something, but not on the channel. India should have 2 time zones, actually. People discuss it here, but it does not have, right? Only 1 time zone. In US, it's at least 3. Isn't it even more in the US? It is only 3? Where if I am likely going to wreck it if I keep trying. that is the point that you should definitely stop it. That is a very that's the point where I always stop drawing. When I think it's always, you have to ask yourself, do I add something? You're probably even at a point where you could have already stopped before, because you always can ask yourself, do I add something by adding to the picture, or do I just change? And if you only change and you do not know where you want to change it to, I'm sorry, that is a point in time where you definitely can stop. It's quite warm, so I have to drink. I'm sorry. One time done. So I remember correctly. I believe you might be getting more requests from friends and family to draw the pictures. Yes. I have drawn, but I normally draw it as gift, so I have never done really a commission. I have sold now a picture once that I had done anyway, and that person wanted to have that picture. So I drew that person. So I got money for a picture I already drew, but I have never accepted a commission. Not true, one time for a colleague of my mother, but more than 12 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years, probably 20 years ago, something like that. So a long time ago. I was young then. And I did that. But yeah, a lot of family members, my nephew and niece I've drawn, and those pictures are hanging in the living room of my brother, which I really appreciate. And I'm considering doing a bit more pictures now again for Christmas. I haven't done it in a while, but now that I have a little bit of practice again with the channel and everything, I think I can do a couple more. But I won't put them, I don't put family members on the channel. I guess if they would ask me to, if they say I want a video of myself, a video of the portrait, then I perhaps would do it. But I don't really fulfill requests. I feel a little bit, it's not like people or family members come to me and say, would you please draw me? Or would you please draw my children or something? I don't get that kind of requests. And I don't want them, because I do not like, it sounds a little bit lame and a little bit cowardly, I think, but I do not want to be to feel that pressure of having to fulfill something. I think it's because of my illness that I am recovering now from, but which I had for years, which made time extremely precious for me. So I was always very hesitant to start a bigger project or something like a picture. So by now it is easier for me, so I could do stuff like that, but I haven't in the past that much. I think I have rambled enough. I hope I answered your question. Gave up drawing when I was 11. YouTube was my savior. Exactly. I started again with content creation. I did not draw before I started with the channel. I did not draw for a long time. So it's the same with me, Anna. Or Ananya. I'm not sure if I should start calling you Ananya if you consider shortening the name, because it's not that easy to say. I think Ananya is pretty easy to say. and I can take the time. If you prefer that, I can definitely use your full name. Liana is awakening. I was considering making my own portrait, Ananya. I was thinking about doing a self-portrait and some introspective commentary. I was considering doing it for 1,000, but when it came along, when I had 1,000 subscribers, I was a bit health-wise. I was not in a good place, so I did not do it. Would have been a very sad video, so but I could do it now. I will see. We will see. Come here, Troy too. I mean, you're Constantine this one. I do so not like the Constantine one though. I really don't like it. So I'm glad that a couple of people already have told me that they really like it and they think it is not bad. I really am not happy with it, but I'm glad that people don't hate it. But we are almost done with the stream, so I will give the hair a little bit of contour so we can see where it will go. So we'll put in the sections of the hair, but that will probably be about it for today. So if you have additional questions, ask them now. Baby Duty, was pretending to be asleep for the last half hour. That gets here. Sleeping often enough. I think the dog still did not have food, so that's also a reason why I should not wait too long until I close the stream. Yeah, I hear the dog. Does anybody want to see doggy videos? Should I let the dog in a second, and when I'm done I can take the camera and show the dog actually. How pronounce my half population of my own country mispronounce it. It is pretty. It is not a challenge for a German one, for a German person, because if you just read it like it is, it's in German. It is easy to say. It's really easy to say. And it's close to Anyanka, which is a name from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, from a character. So Ananya and Anyanka is pretty close. So I have trained a couple of years for your name. The pic looks like she's wearing a hood. It's funny. Yeah, that's not wrong. It looks a little bit like she has become a nun. You know, one of those hood nuns. I was hearing your voiceover and constantly was horrified at how self-critical. Yes, because that picture is not good. I do not like it. Couldn't really sleep. The floor is hard, but it is the floor. On the floor are terrible. Huh. So I hope your back is not too bad. But now that I do not watch Buffy, you can always confess that. That is not an issue. You do not have to. That is not required. Do not worry, but you should. It is a good series. So let me change back to the big picture because we are about to close. We get you to watching. You don't have to. You can, and it is still a very good series. You just have to consider that it is already a little bit older, and fashion-wise, you see the age. Like haircuts and clothes, so it is from the 90s, and it is a very expressive area. Time. It was a very expressive time in terms of cloth and haircuts and stuff, I think. Although here, for example, our Cordelia, she is pretty timeless with the style. She could run around like that today. But some things are looking quite funny on today's standards. But the jokes are still extremely funny and extremely intelligent, so it is a really, really still very good series. Effects, special effects, weren't that good back in the day, so you have to live through that. But makeup for the vampires, for example, is still spot on. So it is a very good series. If you haven't given it a chance, you should, but you should not judge it after the first 4 episodes, because there are some pretty crappy episodes in the beginning, or at least the monsters. There is a big praying mantis monster, for example, which is not very good in terms of how it was created and everything. So it is good. Okay, I will not hate on my Constantine anymore, I promise. Are you considering to draw Keanu Reeves anytime in future? I did. Haven't you seen Hobby Kevin? That is what we have been talking about, actually. So the one I am not allowed anymore to talk negatively about, because I just promised Ananya, I'm sorry. So this is my Constantine. That is Keanu Reeves. You do not really recognize him because I'm not allowed to say it. But yeah, this is my Keanu Reeves. It is a comic book movie, Constantine, so I could draw him. I find reasons and possibilities to draw everybody by now. So. Good night, Ananya. I now get confused with Anyanka because I said it. Ananya, good night and see you soon, I hope. I will go offline anyway. You are not missing too much. So much from watching your sketch of the thing. I'm so glad that you do, Donna, and that you enjoyed it. As I said, I am really the best thing about content creation is when people really enjoy what you're doing, because it's not a given that you do something and people spend time with you, with what you create. That is an amazing feeling, and that is so much fun. So I really am thankful for you to spend time with me, and I hope I will also see you in one of the future live sessions. And 2 time lapses a week right now is what I try to put out on so 2 lives and 2 time lapses. Makes sense, right? It's math. Not that good at math, but still. So it makes us like a family. Okay, Anna. Then I will continue with Anna. Okay, but our picture here, our good old Cordelia. This is what we were drawing for episode. It is from episode 11. As I said, the Buffy Club. Our Buffy Club is, we say, there are 2 episodes. So next week it will be episode 13 and 14, which are, let me take a quick look. Where is my browser window with... Oh, I haven't. It's not open. So I will open it up. So, but I will explain in that time what the Buffy Club is. So there are 2 episodes that out of those we choose and nominate the character that we find most interesting, and can be monster, vampire, main cast, and then I draw it in the stream. And the next 2 episodes are Surprise and Innocence. I will not spoil. Oh, Surprise is pretty funny. I like that episode. And Innocence. Evil. So Surprise and Innocence. Very evil episodes. And I'm pretty sure I know who will be nominated and voted for. And yeah, let's see. Don't you worry, Anna. All is good. Yeah, but that is next week. So this week we drew Cordelia, and we're pretty far in. So I will only have to draw the hair, and then see if I correct something, put something into perspective, whatever. So a lot to do. Lots more I have still to do on this one, which I also haven't completed, which I almost like still a little bit better. This was our Kendra from last time. I still have to make a video out of this, so for that I have to complete it. So we will see. I'm hanging back one video. That's not a good feeling. I have to put in some work. But weekend is full again, so sorry if anybody is waiting for my Kendra. I'm actually waiting for it because I really like the state it is in right now. And I have to finish Ryan Reynolds. It's Deadpool. A little bit of work to do, but it is fun, so I should not complain. Yeah, hair and the rest is pretty. I should make this a bit more. The neck, it looks like there is a kind of shawl or something over it. It's not correct. This is too big. Looks like she has an Adam's apple. Do you call it like that also in English? I think so. So I have to go there, but the rest is the hair, so not that much to do anymore. That makes me happy. Yeah, looks beautiful and you arrange everything very well before starting live. Thank you very much. Everyone is waiting for Kendra. She rocks so hard. That is so true. I'm sure I could never do that. You can, and you should do a live. Just try it sometime, you know. Why not? You have done some lives, haven't you? I've just missed them. I think you have done some lives. I have to recheck on which times you do live. Kendra, the stream was, yes, but I still have to complete it and then post the time-lapse video. But I have to feed the dogs. I'm also now, I should stay and talk to you guys because it is a lot of fun. But the dogs are hungry. Thank you so much for spending time with me. As I said, that's not a given. I take that as a privilege. I love spending time with you guys. Thank you so much. And I hope I will see you in one of the next live sessions. The next one will be on Wednesday, same time as this one. So 2 hours back. And then of course the Friday stream, which is for now still dedicated to Buffy, the series and the characters. And yeah, that is about everything I can tell you. Watch out for the time-lapse versions of the video if you want to see the completed one. And I started already with a little bit of a pre-drawn study of the face to have the right size and proportion and positioning for eye, nose and everything. You can also see all that in the time-lapse, so watch out for that. Ideally press that notification bell, because YouTube has changed its algorithm and it is not enough to subscribe to a channel anymore, because as soon as you subscribe, it means nothing anymore to YouTube, but you have to either ring the bell or watch additional videos for YouTube to really believe that you want to see somebody again. So if you want to see me again, and I certainly want to see you again, watch additional videos or ring that bell ideally. And I hope I see you next time, and goodbye.